people in the streets. Can you imagine this kind of lynching taking place and people are indifferent? The catalyst was certainly Brother George's Floyd public lynching. But the failures of the predatory capitalist economy to provide the satisfaction of the basic needs of food and health care and quality education, jobs with a decent wage. At the same time, the collapse of your political class, the collapse of your professional class. Their legitimacy has been radically called into question, and that's multiracial. Most of my fellow citizens, God bless them, that are in the streets are there, peaceful, who are there marching. And when it does spill over into violence, looting is wrong. But legalized looting is wrong too. So that then the question becomes, how do we keep alive moral, spiritual standards? Keep alive, staying in contact with the humanity of all of us across the board, but recognizing we're living in a moment of massive economic, what is capitalist economy? Failure when it comes to delivering the needs. The nation state, failure to protect. Critical criminal justice system, failure to be fair. The young people are saying, you all have been hypocritical. You haven't been concerned about our suffering, our misery, and we no longer believe in your legitimacy. We must have an anti-fascist coalition against what's going on in the White House Republican Party. We have to tell the truth about the milquetoast, cowardly activity too often that we see among the neoliberal wing of the Democratic Party, and we must be critical of ourselves in terms of keeping alive the highest moral and spiritual standards of Martin Luther King Jr. and Fannie Lou Hamer and Ella Baker. And you see it at work in the soul of Brother George Floyd's family. If we're more concerned about the property and spillover than the poverty...
Is he right?
Decrepit school system, dilapidated housing, massive unemployment and underemployment. We're going to be doing this every 5, every 10, every 20 years. What we need is a nonviolent revolutionary project of full-scale democratic sharing, power, wealth, resources, respect, organizing, and the fundamental transformation of this American empire.
Wow. Holy smokes. Cornel West. Still on point, Brother Cornel West, as he likes to call others. Brother Bernie. Is Cornel West right as he makes the case for radicals in the street, rebels in the street? Without the rebels, without the young people standing up and fighting back and pushing back and making us all aware of the shenanigans and the bullshit going on in our politics, in our economic system or lack thereof, where the professional class has collapsed and nobody trusts doctors and lawyers and investment bankers and colleges. Nobody trusts, the young people don't trust anything anymore. They don't trust the system. The system has broken down, and the young people are out in the street protesting a bit, sometimes crazy, sometimes not comprehensible, calling everything a race problem and such. But are they right for being out in the street? Is Cornel West correct, the intellectual from Princeton, correct in saying that the young people are leading us out of this freaking mess, right? Under the cover, under the umbrella of COVID-19? I think he is. I think it's inescapable that he is. He's correct in saying that we are misguided and we have no mechanism by which to correct it other than the First Amendment, which is get out on the street and complain. Sometimes you make an ass of yourself when you open your mouth. That's just a fact, right? So some of these kids, I think the vast majority of the protests, 95%, upwards of 90%, were correct. And they laid low. They made their point. They made their case. And then there's another 10%, the shenanigans that like to break things and like to push the envelope. So it makes an enormous, I don't know. I mean, it's just an enormous.
Listen, my brother,
The
that
problem we've got-
rationalizes legalized loot, Wall Street greed, Wall Street crimes.
Legalized looting, right? You frown on a bunch of kids jumping into the window in a sporting goods store, stealing. Marcus Conte reporting, by the way. We're going to talk about a couple of things before I jump into this, but it's actually quite riveting. It's quite a riveting rant. We'll talk about the racist. I'm going to call the New York State Division of Human Rights, hopefully. And if I get to that, I'll do that. I'll call, and we'll get an update. Some crazy fuck in Miami ripped off 4 point something million dollars in the COVID-19 relief fund. He scammed almost $4 million, bought himself a Lamborghini before he got caught. Still people getting locked up in Portland. The debates, the master debaters are coming. The masturbators are coming 3 times soon to a theater near you. All right. Trump versus Biden, the masturbators are going to master debate in front of everyone. And one of them got canceled, so we'll look at that as well. And the main story is Bernie Sanders is co-chair. Oh, man, fucking Nina Turner. You got to love. Who's Nina Turner? It's Bernie Sanders' right-hand woman. Man, did she call out Joe Biden, calling him a half a shit sandwich. I've been calling him a shit sandwich from day one. Now Nina Turner's calling him a bowl of shit, half a bowl of shit. Half a shit sandwich, half a bowl of shit. So we'll look at all that stuff, man. So Marcus Conte reporting, and we'll get back to the good Cornel West in a second. Kindly go to my marcusconte.com and my website, and kindly click around and become, if you can kindly become a contributor of this channel through PayPal. And Tobacco Row, thank you very much for the donation, and I apologize. A letter. Jeff, relax, bro. Relax, man. Jeff is telling me I never thanked him for the tip, bro. Fucking chill, man. Chill like Bob Dill. I love everybody, man. It's just it's very time consuming to you make a donation. You know and again, this is I how do I say it? You make a donation. When I throw a tip in a tip jar, I don't expect I just do it out of the goodness of my heart. That's what I'm saying. Just chill out, man. I love you all. I love everybody, right? Fucking, if you can make a donation. And in fact, Jeff said, because I had wiggled a loose tooth, it's still loose, and Jeff said you could hear it. I could hear my tooth loose. And I have an answer for that. I might be pulling it out myself on a video. That'd be pretty funny, right? Should I pull my tooth out on video? Give me a 1 if I should. Because I got the tool to do it. I'm thinking about doing a dental extraction online, on air. An on-air dental extraction, a tooth extraction. I think I can handle it. I watched enough videos on how to take out a tooth. It's going to be painful. Yeah, I know. So what? I'm okay with pain, man. But I'm gonna fucking twist out this tooth. Because I know I've already seen the X-ray, and it's in. I mean, I don't think that a tooth can reverse, and 1, 2. Harkvey Cinema says 2. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. I'm gonna pull out a fucking tooth, man. I already made the decision, man. I got the tool. I got the extraction tool. But anyway, become a Patreon of this channel, or throw some cash in the tip jar. And I've been updating this article, too, about the LARPers. Kindly view there. I keep adding to it because they're still background dickheads and cocksuckers and scumbags, and we have to finish them off. There's no retreat. I had said long ago that there's no retreat with scumbags that prey on innocent people online. So we have to take care of you. Just like we're going to take care of the fat Negro who called me out for white privilege in front of the hospital. But let's listen. Let's analyze a little Cornel West for one second.
The problem is, we've got a system, my brother, that rationalizes legalized loot. Wall Street greed, Wall Street crimes.
Is that true? Is Wall Street looting the country? Yeah. Are corporations looting the country? Yes, and it's legal. Why? Because they write the laws. Oh shit! I forgot one thing, man. I forgot one thing before we move on, because this is more important than everything we're talking about. Right? Everything that we're talking about is important, but not nearly as important as this. Not nearly as important as Granny Cat. This is Granny Cat this morning. Granny Cat. She's at peace. And there's the black cat. The black cat doesn't like when you. The black cat gets jealous of Granny Cat, because Granny Cat requires a lot of energy, a lot of attention. It's Granny Cat. Granny Cat's 18 years old. She wasn't supposed to live more than a year. She had an eye infection of some sort, and she beat the odds. And 17, 18 years later, there she is. Granny Cat, right? It's the little things in life, man. That's what the shit is all about, man. You gotta look at the detail, right? That's such a precious moment, man. When you got a cat like that, that cat's been with me my whole, well, not my whole life, but the last 20 years, every day, and it's like, it's like a child, it's like a child, and they don't live forever, maybe the cat's got another year left. It's precious, right? It's precious stuff, man. So is Cornel West right? I think he is, right? Dr. Cornel West explains why people are protesting in the streets.
There's no doubt.
I mean, I make the case on both sides of it. I try to be fair, but and sometimes when I see the looting, I overreact. Or when I see them spray painting monuments or chopping down, Christopher Columbus's head off a statue, I overreact as well. But in fact, is there rationale spin aside and confusion aside? There's always confusion in war. There's the fog of war, right? These young people are at war with a capitalist system that has basically left them behind, has enslaved them, and they see it, and they know it's corrupt, and they know the institutions that we're asked to play with are corrupt. They know it, right? And the only thing they know for sure, right? Politics aside, I'm not even reading the comments, but I'm sure there's a bunch of jackasses in there saying, "Oh, Trump is a motherfucker. Trump's gonna crush them. Trump 2020, dude, get on the Trump train, dude, the Trump train, dude, the Trump train. We're on the Trump train. We're gonna go Trump the Trump train." You guys, the Trump train, right? Fucking Trump train. That's not to say that. It's not to say that Trump is again, Trump over Biden. Yeah, it seems like the natural thing to do is leave Trump. Or you could actually the natural thing to do is vote the incumbent out and see where the pieces fall, where you can create a power vacuum. So, even a Bo Winkle or a total fucking moron like Joe Biden, there is arguments to be made that that's better than continuing the current trajectory. But anyway.
Doubt that this is America's moment of reckoning. I thank God that we have people in the streets. Can you imagine this kind of lynching taking place and people are indifferent? The catalyst was certainly Brother George's Floyd public lynching, but the failures of the predatory capitalist economy to provide the satisfaction of the basic needs of food and health care and quality education, jobs with a decent wage. At the same time, the collapse of your political class, the collapse of your professional class. Their legitimacy
has been radically
called into question.
All systems have been radically called into question by the young people. Imagine growing up. Just put yourself in that position for 1 second. We ask ourselves, how is it that all of these young people come together on a dime? All of a sudden, they come from out of nowhere. Thousands, tens of thousands of young people pile onto the street with the same message, the same mind, the same observations, chanting, ranting in the streets. How is it possible that they're all connected to the same thing? Now, the jump to the conclusion is that it's Soros and the dirty Democrats and the deep state, and they're being funded and they're paying for their hotels and their water and their cookies, and it's all conspiracy based on the deep state and Soros and George Soros's money and the Rothschilds and the Satanists. Is it any of those people? or is it something more organic? I think it's more organic. I think it's when young people light up like that. Yeah, there'll be people that'll fund it, sure, whatever. Who cares? They're going to do it if you give them bottled water or you don't give them bottled water, they're still going to do it. If you leave out Heath bars and health bars so they don't pass out, they're still going to be out there rallying, and they're all connected, right? Because the young people. I discovered this in my meditation yesterday. Oh, yes, powerful. I'm using powerful forces, by the way. Oh, I'm using very powerful forces in this broadcast, by the way. You're being seduced by Kundalini energy. Kundalini. So, is he right that all systems are being called into, or that the young people are looking out? Imagine your life. Imagine being a young person looking out and realizing that the whole fucking system is a fraud, from investment banking to educational pursuit, to the version of the arts that are trying to be jammed down their throat. What is music? What is art? Academics, making everything academic, everything a product for sale. Imagine being a young person, although at our time, we probably were seeing the similar things. But you have to listen to the youth. They are seeing it clearly, on the same page, all of them at once, all of them at the same time. Right, are seeing this. They're seeing the total breakdown in the credibility of our leaders, our leadership, our government, and that's very powerful.
And that's multiracial.
It's multiracial. Right? That's the one thing that perhaps the majority of the young people are not seeing under the umbrella of Black Lives Matter. But again, it's not necessarily about the message. It's about the target. Who are you targeting? Who are you trying to bring down? Right? You could have your issues, Black Lives, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as you're targeting, as long as you're breaking down the police state and going after the prize, everybody is essentially on the same page.
Most of my fellow citizens, God bless them, that are in the streets.
That's an interesting observation. Lou Sharp tries to take a stab in the comments. Yeah, it's more organic. That organic people don't work and haven't worked in generations, have the money to travel the country and luxury buses and trains and stay in hotels. Yeah, it's organic. Whatever, man. Whatever, dude. Just vote for. I'm surprised he didn't end. Just say Trump 2020. I'm not ripping you, man. It's a good comment, but I fundamentally disagree. Yeah, it is a system. In the '60s, that's what happened as well. that there was a very conservative movement in our country post World War II, where war was good. War was good for the economy. War was good for the world. America made the world safe with war by starting war in Europe and liberating through war, right? And the people that came after that process continued through Vietnam, and the young people said, "Hey, ho, ha, 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 enough is enough." The other part of it, the economic part of it, is that era of post-war too gave enormous financial cushion to young people. I know what you're implying, welfare and all that stuff, but I'm just saying overall, when people have money and resources, they stop and they think, and they reflect. And that's precisely what corporate America doesn't want people to do. They don't want people to stop and think and reflect, because then then people figure out the real fucking problem. They stop their running in a stupid job for so long with so little return. And I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say over there. But I don't. When there is leisure time in the '60s, when young people had the leisure time to travel, as you say, not so much luxury buses and trains, but they have leisure time. They stop and they organize and they think, and that could never be a bad thing, no matter how deep a dig you take at it. So thanks for the comment.
Are there the peaceful who are there marching, and when it does spill over into violence, looting is wrong, but legalized looting is wrong too.
All right, so we've heard enough from Cornel West. I couldn't agree. There is I've always said it on this channel. I stick to it, and that the serious problem is exactly what Cornel West is saying. The young people are rising up. Here's Cornel West. One more on Trump. Cornel West on
The
Trump.
President of the United States, our president,
Yes.
Donald Trump, rarely seems to question himself. He seems very assured of his views. Does that make him, quote unquote, a strong leader?
No, not at all.
What does it make?
That the benchmark of spiritual and moral maturity, humility and tenacity at the same time. That's Abe Lincoln.
Do you agree with that? That Trump's strong arm. Oh, I'm so strong. Mwah. Trump. We're gonna fucking break balls, right? The Trump's tone, Trump's lack of empathy. Is that a good leader? And Cornel West says no. He has no humility. He has no, and something else.
Lincoln at his best. That's Martin King at his best. That's Fannie Lou Hamer at his best. That's Abe Lincoln at his best.
Hold on.
Maturity, humility, and tenacity at the same time. That's Abe Lincoln at his best.
So humility and tenacity.
Martin King at his best. That's Fannie Lou Hamer at his best. Probably your father, I didn't know him. But humility and tenacity.
Why both?
At the same time.
Why do you need both?
Because humility, you recognize you could be wrong. But tenacity, you got to have courage to take a stand.
When has Trump ever admitted that he's wrong? Where's his humility? There is none. I mean, rarely. I mean, you do see, I'll take that back. There are times where Trump will say, we got something wrong. He doesn't say it in his big speeches, but he does say it sometimes. Like, for example, in the interview with Mike Wallace, I think his name is Mike Wallace, where he destroys Mike Wallace. But Trump does say at times that, like with Fauci, we got it wrong. Sometimes the information is coming in. So Trump does show some signs of humility. I would disagree with Cornel West there.
Because we're not talking about relativism, we're not talking about a nihilism and skepticism. You have to be willing to take a stand and pay a cost. But you've got to have the humility.
The problem with Trump is that he doesn't stick to anything. He doesn't hold his ground. He's always changing. He makes stuff up and then he continues. So, but anyway, thank you, Dr. Cornel West. Dr. Cornel West. What's up, everybody? So I want to. I'm going to do something live right now. I'm going to call. You remember this video? This is the racist Negroes coming at me.
Sure. What's going on? There's the entrance. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
All right. So I was at the Brooklyn I was at the Brooklyn hospital a while back, and I was investigating the morgues out back, and this racist black guy.
No videotape. No premises on the premises. I'm walking off your property.
Remember this?
You don't have time for me? I don't have time for you. Just don't touch me, because then we'll have a serious problem. How about I am doing something better. I'm informing the public. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're just being a dickhead. That's what you're doing. You're just being a dickhead.
Get your white privilege out of here.
Oh, white privilege. Oh, now it's racist. Ah, we got racists. Oh, man, you heard him. You heard him live on YouTube.
All right, so is that a racial slur? Is that punishable? Is what the black gentleman, the fat black gentleman wearing a diaper on his face, holding a walkie-talkie, talking to other fat black diaper-wearing motherfuckers, is what he's saying racist? Is calling a white man doing his job at a hospital, right? He doesn't know the nature of my visit. What is the nature of my visit? Is to report what I'm seeing. Is that a racial slur right up there with the N-word? Is him calling me white privilege the same as me calling him a nigger? Hey, you nigger! Hey, you fat nigger! Isn't it the same? Hey, you got white privilege! Hey, you fat nigger! Isn't it the same thing? I think it is. I think he's a fat. Besides, I mean, fat. Calling someone fat is not discriminatory. It's shame. I'm body shaming him, but I'm not. It's not racial. It's not discriminatory. You know, you could make an argument for that, but so what? That's just words. But when you step over the line and start to denigrate someone's race and say that they have something that you don't have, it is a slur, right? And in my view, right? In my view. So let's find out. So here's the case, right? And here is the case where I have filed a civil suit, a New York State Division of Human Rights case number 102070504, and I filed back in April. I got a response a month later, May 7. It's now June, July. It's over. The case is now over 3 months old. The New York State Division of Human Rights will usually wrap it up within 6 months, but I'm supposed to get a response from the Brooklyn hospital, which I have not received in this case number. So what do? It says call the number. Let's call the number right here. 718-722-2856. All right, and now we're calling. And let's see what we find out. Check 1, 2. Looks like we need a machine.
Thank you for calling the New York State Division of Human Rights. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 global pandemic, our offices are currently conducting operations remotely. As a result, we strongly encourage any individuals who wish to connect with us to use electronic communication such as fax or email, as we are unable to retrieve and review any documents sent through any other means, including U.S. mail. Please note, if you are calling to report an incident of discrimination, we ask that you leave us a message with your name, phone number, and discrimination alleged, and someone from our office will contact you to discuss your complaint. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished,
I don't want to record a message.
pound for more options.
Hello, my name is Marcus Conte, and I have filed a case. I filed a case back in April and received a letter from you guys May 7, 2020, case number 10207-504, Marcus Conte versus Brooklyn Hospital Center. I still have not received a response from Brooklyn Hospital Center. I received a letter from William Lamont, the regional director, but I have not received any response from the Brooklyn. I have not received a response to my complaint. So I'm now becoming concerned. It's over 3 months, and would you kindly return my call at the number that I just dialed, and we could move forward in getting an answer to this racially driven complaint. Thank you very much for your time. So there you have it. No answer. I left a message. Maybe one day you'll own the hospital. Maybe. I mean, this is not a money pursuit. This is a look. Here's the deal, right? If the New York State Division of Human Rights fails to respond or fails to investigate properly the claim of racial discrimination based on the words white privilege, right? If they fail to do that, then they're basically setting a precedence that white privilege is not a racial slur. So then you can say that's if they don't respond. If they do, which they have to acknowledge it, right? But you see the precedence that we're setting here. Why is white privilege any different than the N-word? Why is it? Where's the difference? How you tell me? I feel denigrated when you use this word. This person over here feels denigrated when using that word based on race. Where is it different? So it calls to question. That's really what I'm trying to show you, is that it calls to question the validity of the system, that the system favors the division of human rights should be the division of black human rights and minority human rights, the division of human rights excluding white people, the division of human rights for everybody but whites is what it really says. That's what it really says. Because if this was the other way around, my friends, if it was me calling that guy a nigger, right in his face, getting right in his face, you fat fucking nigger, right? White guy saying that right to his fucking face, it would have been a different story. It would have been massive discrimination, right? But because it's the other way around. There's no problem here. So anyway, here's Miami man blows COVID-19 relief fund on Lamborghini, dating sites and hotels. So this joker got some money. A Florida man allegedly scammed nearly $4 million from U.S. government's coronavirus relief loan program and used some of the cash on a brand new Lamborghini and other luxury items, authorities said Monday. Wow, he went for broke. David Hines, who was charged with bank fraud, making false statements to a financial institution. That's an oxymoron right there, right? Bank fraud, yeah, okay, well, that's bad. But making false statements to a financial institution, that's all financial institutions do, is make false statements. Everything they say is false. Everything they say is a fucking lie and a scam and a ripoff, for the most part. But when you do it, oh boy, when you scam the scammers, then there's consequences. You almost have to salute him for finding a way to pull $4 million out of the government kitty. It's money, look, he's going to spending the money. He's spending it on hotels and hookers and fast cars and caviar. At least he's spending the money. The billionaire class, they don't even fucking spend the money. I bet the coke dealer's happy. The pot dealer loves him, right? The hookers love him. The hookers are lining up for this guy. Whores are lining up. They love this guy. It's not because he's so handsome and he's got a large penis. It's because of the money. They love him. So David Hines was charged with bank fraud, making false statements to a financial institution, and engaging in transactions in unlawful proceeds in a criminal complaint unsealed Monday. Hines, 29 years old, of Miami, initially tried to get $13.5 million from the Payment Protection Program, the PPP program, through applications on behalf of different companies by saying he needed the money for employee payroll purposes. Turns out the purported employees did not even exist. Either did not exist or earned a fraction of what Hines claimed in his PPP application. The bank eventually approved the three of his loans totaling $3.9 million. Within a few days, hey, look, part of the stimulus scam was, not scam, but the stimulus, acquiring stimulus money was to apply for everything. Apply for stimulus checks, for unemployment, for PPP, everything, right? Just keep applying for everything and see what you get. But this guy stretched it, and he made up a lot of shit. He bought himself a $318,000 Lamborghini. Wow, imagine that, spending over $250,000. I guess when you have that kind of money, you got $4 million. You got $4 million, and you dump $300,000 on a fast car. You're not supposed to flaunt it, though, when you get it. Stupid young white guy. Stupid, man. He's got white privilege. He's got a Lamborghini because he's got white privilege. White privilege, man. Fucking look at this fucking man. Look at this motherfucker with new Lamborghini. He's a fucking white racist. He's a white privilege, man. Get his fucking car, man. Get his fucking car. Take his keys, man. It's white privilege. He also spent thousands of dollars on dating sites, jewelry and clothes, and stays at the posh hotels in Miami Beach. Federal investigators linked the sports car to Hines after he was involved in a hit and run. What a fucking moron, right? He's driving around drunk in a $318,000 car and crashes it. What an idiot. Miami police impounded the vehicle. When the bank froze Hines' company's accounts on June 24, and they showed a balance of $3,463,000, but no repayments on the loans. Well, that's a stretch, New York Post, because you're not supposed to pay the loans yet. It's not in payment mode yet. You take the money, you fix yourself, and the payment modes start a year from now. So they got that wrong. No payment, no repayments. He didn't repay anything. Well, he's not supposed to yet. Hines was arrested Friday, innocent till proven guilty. He's innocent till proven guilty. He was granted release on a $100,000 bond. He steals, this is wonderful. He steals $3.4 million. No, he steals $3.9 million, and they let him out on a $100,000 bond, which he only has to put up $10,000. And he will be allowed to stay at his mom's house with a GPS monitor. His arraignment is scheduled for October 14th. So my nigga is free till October 14, and he's still got. Wait, when the bank? Oh, they froze his account. All right, so they froze his account. Did he stash to make the bond? Did he have like $100,000 stuffed up his ass? Did he have it in his boot? Did he have a couple of $100,000 in cash laying around that he bailed himself out? Because he did bail himself out, but they froze his account. So anyway, it's just an interesting story. I don't know what to make of it. So 22 people facing federal charges. What's up, everybody in the chat? I apologize. I'm not paying attention because I'm on a rant and a roll and a tear, and just spewing out truth left, right, and center. Just abiding in the truth. And I forgot my comrades and I'm sorry for being selfish. Vinny DiMartini on the chat, my motherfucker, nigger. What's up, Vinny? Vinny DiMartini, don't be a dick in the chat. Right? And not to say that people are dicks anymore, but back in the day when people were dicks, we needed to be bigger dicks to stop them, right? That's not really being a dick. Stopping dickery is not being a dick. Stopping dickery is doing the right thing. That's what it is. And so that's since been stopped. Bob Lowe, Chris Milk, Dead Game. What's up, everybody? Flowers in her hair. Love that name. Flowers in her hair. George's son, who we still don't know who George is, And Heartview Cinema, Mondays at Heartview Cinema. I missed it last night. I was doing something, and I looked up at the clock, and it was 11 o'clock, and man, I felt guilty. I missed a movie at Heartview Cinema, and I will watch it later on. I will be watching Heartview Cinema. You should do that too. Excellent movies, excellent stuff going on there. Excellent vibe. James DeWeaver, Jason Walsh, Joe Green, Loyal Opposition, Me So Horny, Hungry, Miss Chicago, Nathan Purvis, what's up, Nathan? You missed your show. You missed your introduction yesterday. I showed the child. Give me updates if you want. I'll show him. Never apologize. I agree. Pat Hacker used to be a thorn in my side. Now Pat Hacker loves me. She comes here to say, Conte, you're so cool. You're so cool. Quantum Epic and Rich Sirico, who I haven't seen since I'm 10 years old. What's up? A childhood friend, man. Rich has got a hell of a story. I hope someday we get to hear Rich's story. There's something there that I think he knows what I'm talking about. That one day maybe we'll talk about, but that's up to him. That has nothing to do with me. Sassafras, SG Commander, Spirit Child, Tony Yao, my brother from a different mother, Vinny Martini, and Vander Lou, and Weevil Boy, who's actually a girl. It's not a dude, man. It's not Weevil Boy, man. It's Weevil Girl. So anyway, man. Oh, wow, we're not buffering, man. We have to give kudos to YouTube. Dear YouTube, I love you. YouTube is the greatest platform ever created. YouTube is here for all of us to communicate to one another in an open and loving format. YouTube has done so much for our society and so much for the transformation of online communications between each other that they should get a trophy. YouTube is my friend. I love YouTube. Congratulations, YouTube, on all of your success and ongoing success. Over and out. You got to feed the robot. That's called feeding the robot. We're going to feed the robot every day, man. Hey, you know me. Rich Sirico. I can't believe it's Rich Sirico, man. It's my brother, man. Literally. I mean, he was literally. That's another story. But so 22 people facing federal charges in connection with Portland protests. Locking the motherfuckers up. So all that good talk earlier, you heard all the good talk, how good we were, how the youth of America is rising. We heard all about that. The youth of America is rising, but sometimes they rise incorrectly, or they rise abruptly, or they rise in a way that isn't comprehensible. And federal agents start locking the motherfuckers up. Lock them up. That's Trump's solution. Lock them up. Lock them up. 22 more people have been arrested and charged over their alleged roles in Portland protests. Federal prosecutors announced Monday the charges of criminal conduct were in. I had really good sleep last night. That's why I feel good. Yesterday I didn't sleep because Granny Cat kept me up all night. Fucking Granny Cat walking on my face and walking on my head. and crying every hour. It's hard to sleep if someone's screaming in your ear to wake up, right, every hour. So I corrected that last night. She's fine. It's just that's what she does. She doesn't know day from night or night from day, and she's walking on my face. And if you don't sleep, man, if you let something interrupt your sleep pattern, you're in trouble, man. You got to get that. You got to get at least like a few hours uninterrupted in cool conditions. The charges of criminal conduct were in connection with demonstrations outside the Mark O. Hatfield Federal Courthouse between July 23rd and early on July 28th. All right, so July 23rd, July 28th, right? Portland protesters got locked up. Protesters, which began after May 25th death of George Floyd. Is this a good thing? Is this a good trend? For others, including the 18-year-old man, are charged with failing to obey lawful orders at the same protest. Failing to obey lawful orders. What does that mean? When the cop says, "Move, motherfucker, or I'm going to crack your head. Move. Move now. Move." And you fail to move. Is that what qualifies as a lawful order? What qualifies? I mean, like I said, I've almost got run over twice by police for covering an event of protesting. I did get run over. I got run over once. I got run over, once, and almost. The first one would have been really bad because the cop fell off the bike before he hit me, and he went sliding past me. I'm like, whoa, that guy was coming fucking right at me, man. And because he was a bad bike rider, he fell on his face. Or my powerful karma. Whoa, maybe that's what it was. I was like, whoa. I was like this. Whoa, stay away from me, copper. And he fell off his bike, but I wasn't so lucky the second time. The guy ran into my leg. It still hurts. Still hurts, man. Fucking motherfucker, right? But anyway, so I just dabble on that thing, dabble in this in this article because are the protesters right or wrong? Where is it? Where after all that Cornel West told us about the protesters, all the things that we realize about the shit system, the system that has failed us, is failing us over and over again, right? It's starting. I feel like it's loosening up a little bit. I think it's gonna. I think the shit's gonna really hit the fan when people's stimulus monies run out, if they haven't invested it right or they haven't saved it or whatever the fuck. It's just prolonging the agony. We still have a system of failure, a system of political lies and cheating and public looting, So are these 22 young people who believe it has something to do with Christopher Columbus really wrong? Should they be brought to justice? Should they be chopped down? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. I think that it's better than nothing. Right. More, what are we going to do? Oh, yeah, Mr. Adults. Yeah, we're all fucking adults. We sit online and we chat back and forth. And I say, fuck you, Trump sucks. And you say, fuck you, Bernie Sanders is a communist and a socialist and a sellout and a motherfucker and an old fucking grandpa. Right? And we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and forth and back and back and forth. And nothing ever changes. Nothing changes with our online discourse. Maybe if you have a platform and you talk about the same things every day, like I try to do, maybe you can get some swing in the political, arena. But for the most part, most of what we say falls on deaf fucking ears. So when young people get out into the street and start chopping off Christopher Columbus's head and ripping off Teddy Roosevelt's testicles for being next to a Negro, being higher than the Negro in the statue, we have to look at, or you see in that crazy crowd of radical racists or who see the problem as racist, in that crowd you'll see one brave young kid with a sign, carrying a heavy sign that says, "Eat the rich." You say, he gets it. He gets it. Or you see, eat the rich, or fuck the system. I have a vision of a girl. I remember this young 20-something-year-old girl, beautiful woman, right? Carrying a big fucking iron sign. And it said, fuck the system. Carrying it on her back like the cross of Jesus. And I got the picture somewhere. Fuck the system. Just young people pissed the fuck off that they see it. That their whole fucking system, their whole fucking world has been stolen from them. And they want something. They're not gonna be fucking slaves in Starbucks like you were, or I was, or maybe I was. Slaves. They don't want to be fucking slaves. Why is that so hard to understand? Young people are pissed off, right? Empathy. That's what Trump lacks. That's the fundamental thing that Cornel West was saying, that you have to have empathy to understand the other. You have to be empathetic to their cry. Although they don't have clarity in what they're targeting because they're young, they're kids. They don't have enough worldly experience. But they do know that they're pissed off and they're being ripped off. That they do know. They know that with remarkable clarity. They have remarkable clarity that they, young people, are being fucked, and they're not yielding. And that's an enormous thing to have, that they're all on the same page. So here you go. Oh, this is not the main story. How long have we been going already? We're over close to an hour. I haven't even touched the story. But it's Nina Turner. If you're not familiar with Nina Turner was Bernie Sanders' right hand woman, mouthpiece, led his rallies, has been by his side the whole time since 2015, supporting Sanders. And here she divides with Sanders. But before that, I want to talk about the master debates. The master debaters. The master debaters on Notre Dame, excuse me, withdraws from hosting the first Biden-Trump debate. Excuse me, Trump-Biden debate. Trump comes first because Biden's a nobody. The commission that holds the quadrennial presidential debates, I guess there's 4, says that the first of the 3 scheduled showdowns. I just wanted to bring this up because we're going to get 3. I'm more interested in knowing when the 3 debates will come. And Notre Dame, for whatever reason, canceled being the host of the first one. So there'll be 4 this fall between Trump and Biden. Is being moved. The first one's being moved from Indiana to Ohio after Notre Dame withdrew as host. All right, as long as they're not going to cancel them, because the Democrats would like the debates to be canceled or done in a sit-down, maybe remote, where they never come face-to-face, no audience. They want the lowest possible energy possible so that Trump can't play the audience. Trump can't, create the excitement. That's the goal. To bring Trump down to shit sandwich Joe Biden, who's a loser. Right? And no energy Joe. Right? That's the goal, right? So that's why the Democrats, and probably in conjunction with Notre Dame, are trying to move the shit around and make it in a way where Biden looks strong and Trump looks weak. That's the goal of the 4 debates. No doubt about it, right? The Commission on Presidential Debates. Why? Because the system is stacked against Trump. They want more. The billionaire class is never satisfied. They'll get a lot more with Biden, who's senile and just a yes sir guy. He had his head up Obama's asshole for 8 years, right? While Obama just looted gave the corporations whatever they wanted, just like Trump. So I think that the corporations think that Biden is more of a lay down, will give them less resistance than Trump. So therefore they'll favor Biden over Trump. Who's best for the people? I would argue neither. They're both heading in the same direction. It's a matter of it's a billionaire game. Who's going to get more of the money out of the billionaires? It's not who's going to get more of the money, the people or the billionaires. That's not what's on the table, folks. That's not on the table anymore. Bernie Sanders failed. Bernie Sanders quit. Bernie Sanders got cheated. Right? Bernie Sanders failed to fight for his people. Bernie Sanders failed. That was the hope. That was the ability to actually have us versus the billionaires. But now what you have is billionaires versus billionaires. Now, if you don't see that, take your head out of your ass, and maybe you can. Just for a second, take your head out of your ass and know that Biden and Trump play on the same team. But the team that is funding Biden is a different class of billionaires. They want everything. They want, just like Trump wants everything for himself and his class of billionaires, the Biden people he's assembled a bunch of billionaires too, and they have billions of dollars. Right? Like Jeff Bezos, for example, who doesn't like Trump because Trump attacks Bezos. So Biden's move is to go with Bezos and take his money and side with those billionaires. And what happens? You have a decentralized, more retail going down the toilet, more fights in the street, more racial division being amplified so that you can shut down cities and move everything to e-commerce. You see how that works, right? So don't kid yourself. Don't think that Trump is a vote for the people, is fighting for the people. He sounds good. I bet, Trump sounds good. But his actions don't, when someone gives $740 billion, military industrial complex money gives them that much money, and Senate and Congress all sign in stereo, you know that he's not on your team. When he gives trillions of dollars in stimulus to corporations that don't need it, you know he's not on your team. Right? Bailouts. You know he's not on your team. The object is to let the monopoly fall. Let them fail so that we can get a new system. We can get a system of the people, by the people, and for the people, the way it was supposed to be. So I digressed. But the debates, so you got 4 debates. The one in Notre Dame will be moved to Ohio. Then there's another one on the 29th. University of Cleveland. Oh no, that's the same one. The first one's the 29th. I don't know. I'll do more research on this. I'm just interested in when. And then there's October 7th. No, Vice President October 7th. Another one scheduled for October 15 in Florida. October 22nd in Nashville, Tennessee. So we're going to see some debates, whether they're remote or whatever. Does it really matter where they are, if they're remote or if they're in an empty freaking room? Not really. So Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. So here's the very powerful, the very influential, the very beautiful and wisdomic and inspirational and high wisdom of Nina Turner, someone who I love, someone who has been radically in favor, although she's gotten soft. She got soft in the end. Radically in favor of a universal single-payer healthcare system, healthcare for all, however you do it, right? Living wage and things that bring light to a corrupt corporate structure, a structure of billionaires that are fucking people over. She's been very powerful in doing that. On the side of this guy, Bernie Sanders, she's always been behind him. Nina Turner was a senator in, I believe, Chicago. I forgot what state Chicago is in. Wisconsin? Fucking Illinois, excuse me. Illinois, right? She was a senator in Illinois, right? An Illinois state senator. I forgot. I just had a brain freeze, man. Anyway. I know that Chicago's not in Wisconsin. I fucking know that. I've never been to Chicago, but I know where it is. But anyway, Nina Turner has been a staunch supporter of Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden thinks that the Bernie Sanders crowd is just going to line up and vote for him, and he would be very wrong, right? I told you initially that Bernie Sanders is not the leader of really anything. People are not going to just blindly follow Bernie Sanders because he says vote for Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders is doing that to save his own ass and politics as usual. But don't kid yourself. The people that supported Bernie Sanders don't support Joe Biden, right? And here's an example of Nina Turner, right? Says, Bernie Sanders co-chair voting for Joe Biden like eating a half a bowl of shit. Bernie Sanders, so it's Nina Turner says, voting for Joe Biden is like eating a half a bowl of shit. It's not the whole bowl, it's just a half a bowl of shit. You didn't eat a whole bowl, you only ate a half bowl of shit. Right? So much for Democratic enthusiasm for Joe Biden. A co-chair of Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign vividly described how she feels about choosing between Biden and President Trump, likening it only to having to eat half a bowl of excrement. That's fucking awesome, man, right? That's awesome. She called him a shit sandwich, man. Nina Turner called Joe Biden a shit sandwich, man. Are you gonna fucking vote for that shit? That bowl of shit? You want me to eat that bowl of shit? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm dark enough, man. I ain't no bowl of shit. I ain't eating no bowl of shit, says Nina Turner. It's like saying to somebody, you have a bowl of shit in front of you, and all you've got to do is eat half of it instead of the whole thing. It's still shit, says Nina Turner. It's brilliant. Turner, a former Ohio, excuse me, I said Chicago. All right, I was fucking wrong, man. See, when wrong, promptly admitted. Humility. Humility. See, I have humility. I was wrong. I said Illinois. I said Wisconsin, then Illinois, but it's Ohio. Nina Turner, a former Ohio State Senator, was quoted in an article analyzing Trump's path to re-election, including, now I'm dizzy because I fucking, I hyperventilated. Former Ohio State Senator was quoted in an article analyzing Trump's path to re-election, including by exploiting disaffected supporters of Sanders' socialist campaign, which lost to Biden despite winning the first 3 state Democratic contests this year. Excuse me. It ain't easy what I do. Get hyperventilated early in the morning. Trump alleges the Democratic Party cheated Sanders, a Vermont senator, out of the nomination. Trump alleges, of course, did the Democrats cheat Sanders, a Vermont senator, out of the nomination? Twice they did it. They did it twice. The evidence is on the table. That's not disputable. Trump is seeking an appeal to Sanders' backers by pointing out that Biden supported the Iraq War, voted for did he? Yes, he did. The North American Free Trade Agreement, did he? Yes. And authored the 1994 crime bill, which contributed to mass incarceration of blacks. Did he do those 3 things? Did Biden do those 3 things? Did Biden vote for the North American Free Trade Agreement? Yes. Did Biden support the Iraq War? Yes. Did Biden support Bill Clinton in the 1994 crime bill, which contributed to mass incarceration of blacks? Yes. Joe Biden did all 3 of those things. So why is it? Of course, you want to appeal. You want to appeal to voters if you're Trump. Last time I got a lot of Bernie Sanders voters, as you know, this is Trump. Last time I got a lot of Bernie Sanders voters, a very good percentage. People were shocked, mostly because of trade, Trump said in a Father's Day discussion last month with his son. Trump says more. Quote, "One thing Bernie was right on was trade. He said that everybody in this country is being hurt badly by our trade deals. They're so bad. And I get a lot of support from Bernie Sanders supporters. I think I'm going to have it again this time." Well, Mr. Trump is doing nothing for trade. If you back the corporations as is, if you back the structure of the corporations, how they do business abroad, how they do business at home, and you give them unlimited tax breaks, 0 tax. If you give them corporate handouts, if you give them government handouts that they don't need, you're not changing shit about trade. Nothing changes. Policy doesn't change. Policy's not going to change the fact that corporations are going to search for cheap labor abroad, search for cheap resources, exploiting them through war. None of that's going to change. None of it changes. Right? Just because you say, trade. Trade. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It means very little. And I get a lot of support from Bernie Sanders. Although Sanders endorsed Biden and released a unity agenda with him, some Sanders supporters resisted jumping aboard. Some? A former Sanders national press secretary tweeted Saturday that journalists should, quote, start asking Biden why he doesn't support the progressive policies that earn Bernie enthusiastic support. Well, that'd be a good question. It's a good question. It's a little more, right? So Biden got his own problems. Biden has. Where's the clip? They had some good stuff in there. Here's Cornel West. We have to be true to ourselves and acknowledge that Biden is a mediocre milk toast, like a common jerk-off. A mediocre milk toast neoliberal centrist that we've been fighting against in the Democratic establishment, Cornel West of Harvard says. He's not from Harvard. I thought he's from Princeton. And Harvard professor. He's not Harvard. He's not Harvard. God damn it. Fucking Cornel West. Cornel West is from Princeton. Oh shit, he's Harvard? He works at Princeton though, doesn't he? Isn't he a Princeton guy? Well, he was educated at Harvard. So he went to Harvard, but he teaches at Princeton. I'm pretty sure of that. Where does he teach now? Where does he teach now? It matters. It matters. It does matter. Shit like that matters because Black lives matter. We have to be true to ourselves. All right. If Sanders' primary voters stay home on election day out of PIQ, what does this mean? Puke. If they stay home out of puke, a feeling of irration or resentment resulting from a slight, especially to one's pride. You mean getting ripped off in the primary? Yeah, I would imagine that they would be pissed off if they got ripped off, right? That could damage Biden's chances. Right. Nina Turner, co-chair of Sanders' campaign, told me she has no appetite for the choices she faces. It's like saying to somebody, no appetite. It's like saying to somebody, you have a bowl of shit in front of you, and all you've got to do is eat half instead of the whole thing. It's still shit. Oh, man, what kind of times do we live in, man? What are we living in? Oh, my fucking God, man. Mark's Conte reporting. Mark's Conte reporting on this crazy day. I hope that was informative. I'm feeling pretty good. How you feeling, man? Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Go out, exercise, get some sun, vitamin D. Expose yourself to the sun, even if it's 95 degrees out. Take your shit off for at least 20 minutes. And walk around and let the rays soak up, expand into the sun, and let the hot light, because the radioactive, not radioactive, the ultraviolet rays are strongest now because the sun is directly overhead. This is when you want to absorb it. Right? So all this business about, stay in and stay, it's just, they're trying to kill you, man. They're destroying your health. Go out into the big, if you're conscious of your body and you're fat and you're flubby and you're pale, don't worry about it. Just go outside and try to get at least 80% of your body. Just cover your dick and your tits if that makes you comfortable, and cover yourself and expand into the light, expand into the sun. Look into the sun, not with your eyes open, but face the sun. Lay down flat into the sun for at least 20 minutes in the very intense direct light, and that's good for the healing. That's good healing process. So jump in the water too. Yeah, jump in the water, and do both. Right. That's the beauty of the ocean, is that the ocean is cold. But right now it's chaotic in New York to do that. You go over to the ocean. I haven't been over there in a while, but yeah, you jump in the cold water, and then you lay on the hot sand, and then you jump back in the cold water, and you keep doing that over and over. Very therapeutic. Don't burn yourself. Don't stay in. That's the problem of. See, that's the thing about overdoing it, right? Like I was just enjoying the kiddie sprinkler right here until they shut it off. They fucking shut the kiddie sprinkler off in the park. And I asked the black lady. I said, hey man, how come you guys shut the water off? She said, it's broke. It's broke. I said, it's broke. The water is broke. How's the water broke? How? What? All three water fountains broke at the same time? She said, it's all connected. I was like, really? All three water fountains? What about the bathroom? The bathroom's open. The bathroom, you can flush the toilet. The water runs in the bathroom. Why did you shut the sprinklers off? Don't fucking lie to me. I didn't say that, but I wanted to say it. I don't want to start a war with the people. I just want to find out why they shut the... I'll find out. Why did you shut the water off at the most intense fucking heat? The most intense fucking heat out there, and they shut the shit off, man. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Thanks everybody for joining me, man.